I see in my teaching that the left hand is quite a bit out of the position. Again, I emphasize that I just talked about the guitar position, the body position, so now talking about the left hand position. Very often I see that the left hand in such a position with the students that it doesn't allow for the most efficient movement of the fingers. In other words, it sits in a way that this finger gets more extended, even the third one, and the fingers work from this kind of position. That's one of the most common problems that I have found. So what I want to do is to emphasize the necessity of making the left hand so much parallel to the strings. Let's start with the wrist. Let's think of this as something that does not move, at least for the time being, so that we get rid of all unnecessary movement and all unnecessary tension in this hand. So I want this line to be straight, I want this line to be straight. So when you put your hand on a fretboard, what I want you to get is the following. Just as you take your hand and you have this, put it on here, and it becomes straight. It becomes very much parallel to the strings. So avoid this kind of position, bring it into this. Think of all the fingers, every one of these fingers, to be very curved. And let's start this exercise. I call this an alignment exercise. So it will start, let's say, from the 5th position, all fingers in place, all fingers on the 1st string, and one by one we'll go to a next string and the right hand will play. But in this instance extremely slow, because what I want to work is on the position, on an alignment, not on the speed. Speed will come much later. So 1st finger goes on the 2nd string in the shortest, you see, trajectory. We don't want to overshoot and it goes and flattens itself like this, but still maintain this curved position, and we play. Followed by 2nd finger, 3rd, and then when I release my 4th finger, I tilt a little bit my elbow, you can see this, actually the whole arm, and bring my 4th finger there. You see this? This is what I want. Now, if you have a curved fingers, this is what will happen when you play 1st and a 3rd string. They will sound open. If you don't have the perfect alignment, if the fingers are not in their place and they don't clear the strings, and you get something like this, and you play this last note, if I try to play 1st string, the fingers don't clear it, and it doesn't sound. Now it does. So does the 3rd string. Then we continue. We go on to 3rd string. 1, 2, 3, and then I release 4th and bring it with my arm. Then again, I hear the string below and under, that's the 4th and the 2nd, clear. We go on. 1, 2, 3, release 4th, swing it a little bit with the arm. There we are. Play the string below and under, 5th and 3rd, and we go on. 1, 2, 3, 4, string below and under, they are clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, string under, I didn't clear it, you heard it, I have to adjust, now it's clear. Now I go back, 1, 2, 3, now it works the other way around. When I release my 4th finger, I pull back a little bit with my arm, and the whole hand is coming down. String below and under are clear. 2, 3, 4. Strings above and under are clear. Further, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Now I want to go 1 fret down, change the position. Just move my arm. Let's go to the 4th position and start. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll go back. I didn't do it good. Now there's a very important thing. As we go down with the left hand down in the lower positions, in the fifth or even in the seventh position for some people, if I would say if you are younger, you know, the position will be easier to start on in the seventh position because the fingers are smaller and it's easier in the seventh. But let's say you start at the fifth, work your way down, and now what is happening with the fingers as they go down the position, they have to spread open. So if they are going down, look what I will do without. See how I'm trying to open up my fingers so that they accommodate the distance between the frets. In the seventh position, if I lift them up and leave, I have nothing to do. It's really falling down quite nicely. Natural spread of my fingers are for the seventh position. Even for the fifth one, I don't feel I have to do much. When I go down to the first one, I have to do it. You can see it very clearly here. I'll move a little bit so that you can see it better. I have to open up my fingers. You see that? This is what happens. So if I go from the fifth down to first, they open. Without guitar, it would be this. So here it is. In the beginning, it will feel quite difficult and quite strenuous onto the fingers, this position, because it requires the hand to open up. But with the practice, this is what happens. And I'm going way too fast for anyone that would start this. Again. Now it cleared, etc. One more angle that I want to show you for this alignment exercise. Look from this way, what I talked about curved fingers. So I'm starting again in the fifth position. Second string is clear. And now let's check this string. First it's clear. You see the third. Clear. And I can go on. Etc. But look, another thing that I want you to pay attention is look at my hand or look at the fretboard. There's a space in my hand in which the fretboard just naturally falls into. So it's not that I'm playing this exercise and I'm stretching my fingers over to reach, because of course then they will completely mute the other strings. But it's more that this space in my hand, I use it for the fretboard to fall in. And I can show you even more a little bit. Let's say the thumb follows the other fingers as it provides this support. It goes up and the fretboard, you see, it just falls into the hand. Again, let's check the thumb. So the thumb and the fingers move up and down the fretboard, higher and lower up. The same as you will see later on as we move down the fretboard this way, right? And the thumb is in the same position, following the fingers. It's also in this direction, up and down. It follows the fingers, and the fretboard simply just falls into this space of the left hand. So I played it without clearing the without open strings, just to show you how it can be faster and how the fretboard comes in and out into the hand. Okay. Okay. Let's see how this alignment looks from a different angle. Talked about curved fingers, so here you can see how the pinky has this curve. Doesn't look straight. This is extended. We don't want that. We want it to be curved. Okay? So if we go again with this exercise, bringing the pinky with the arm, and let's start, for example, let's find what would be the perfect speed. More or less for lots of exercise, in most of the cases with the students, I go around 60 beats per minute. Kind of a golden speed for me. That's the speed of seconds. So I go. Etc. You can use this exercise on a daily basis. Little by little practice, maybe 5-6 minutes, just this exercise in the beginning. And what will happen, you will feel more and more comfortable, then you can speed it up. And later on you will see how this develops into a different kind of exercise and how gradually we will add a speed to it. So, that much about alignment exercise.